Hi everyone! Today we are going to be looking at doing division problems that contain zeros in them. So dividing with zeros. Our objective is today you will learn how to divide numbers that contain a zero in the quotient. And if you remember, the quotient is the answer in a division problem. So when you hear the word quotient, you think, we're talking about the answer in a division problem. So we're going to start off right away. I'm going to walk you through it, and feel free to pause it, take notes, or write down any questions that you have. And I always like to start, like I have before in other videos, with the divide, multiply, and subtract. It just keeps me focused. So the first thing that I do is I'm going to divide. So I'm going to put a little slash right there because that's what I'm doing. So I say to myself, how many times does 5 go into 5? And it goes in there once. The next step, I multiply. I do 1 times 5 equals 5. The next thing I do is subtract. 5 take away 5 is 0. And then I bring down the next number. And then I start dividing again. I say to myself, how many times can 5 go into 1? Well, it can't. So it's 0 times, and then I multiply. I just go through the steps just like normal. 0 times 5 is 0. And the next step, I subtract. 1 take away 0. You've got it. It's 1. Then I'm going to bring down this next number and divide again. How many times can 5 go into 16? Well, it can go in there 3 times without going over it. So I write down the 3, then I multiply. 3 times 5 is 15. And then I subtract. I want to make sure I write that over here so I know what step I'm on. And 6 take away 5 is 1, and 1 take away 1 is 0. So our answer, if we were to do it with a remainder, is 103, remainder 1. Or if we wanted to do it as a fraction, we would do 103 and 1/5. Or if we wanted to do it as a decimal, I would put the 0 here. I would bring it down here, and I would divide out again. 5 goes into 10. Whoopsie. 2 times, put the decimal here. 2 times 5 is 10. And we have a 0. So we have all different kinds of ways that we can express our remainders. And I did this again, and this again. All right, let's try another one. 768 divided by 7. I'm going to start off by dividing. 7 goes into 7 one time. 1 times 7 is 7. Then I'm subtracting. 7 take away 7 is 0. And then I bring down the 6. And how many times now can 7 go into 6? Well, it can't, can it? So I'm going to put 0. Then I multiply. 0 times 7 is 0. And I subtract, and I'm going to mark that off over here. 6 take away 0 is 6. And then I bring down the 8. I start the process all over again. How many times can 7 go into 6? So I'm dividing. 7 times 9 is 63. So I'm going to do that. 9. And then I divide. I multiply. 9 times 7 is 63. And then I subtract. And mark that off. 8 take away 3 is 5. And 6 take away 6 is 0. And I'm just going to express this one as just a fraction. So it's 109 and 5/7. Okay, let's look at another one. You should be getting the hang of it. It's just like a regular division problem, but you might go into a number that the divisor doesn't go into except with a 0. So let's start off dividing. 9 into 9 goes 1. Multiply. 1 times 9 is 9. And then, oopsie. Oh dear, what happened here? Oh, I don't even know where this came from. Just a minute, you guys. Something's going on here. Let's do this. It's kind of goofy. All right, there, we're back in business now. I multiplied, for crying out loud, and now I'm subtracting. And then I'm going to bring down the number, so I subtracted. How many times can 9 go into 7? Well, it can't. So I divided. Now I'm multiplying. 0 times 9 is 0. And then I subtract. Oopsie. Oh my goodness, I'm having a heck of a time. Bring down the 7. When I subtract the 3, then I divide. How many times does 9 go into 73? Well, it goes in there 8. So I'm putting the 8 up there. I multiply the 8 times 9 and you get 72. Okay. Urgh. Goodness sakes. And that's a 1. And so my answer is, if I express it as a fraction, it would be 108 and 1/9. So I put the 1 over the 9. Okay, now I'm going to have you try it out. Pause the video, and when you think you're done, or if you get stuck or whatever, come back and we'll go through it together. Welcome back. All right, here we go. Divide. Hopefully you put a 1 and then you multiply. You get a 4. I'm starting to get a little frustrated here. And then a 0. Bring down the 1. How many times can the 4 go into 1? Well, it can't, so it's a 0. And then I multiply. 0 times 4, you've got it, is 0. Now notice how I wrote down this number kind of in a sloppy penmanship. You want to make sure that you write your numbers neatly so you can see what exactly you have. This almost looks like a 7 to me, but it's a 1. So 1 take away 0 is 1. And then I'm going to bring down the 6 and I start again. I subtract it here. Now I'm dividing. How many times does 4 go into 16? Well, it goes in there 4, and 4 times 4, I'm multiplying, is 16. And then I'm going to subtract, and we get 0. So our answer is 104. How'd you do? If you didn't get it right, either go over this again or ask me or Mrs. Hobbs or Mrs. Perry tomorrow in class for some help. All right. Let's see. Oh, goodness sakes. Here it's quiz time. So here's your quiz. Write down these problems. And it's linked to the video, so you're going to answer it using the computer. And number 4, that you're thinking, doesn't have any numbers in it. So the answer to number 4 is, the question is, what color eyes does Mr. Lau have? And he has
blue.
That's right, Mr. Lau. B for blue. So that's what you need to put down. B. What color do you have, Mr. Lau?
Blue.
Blue. And the next thing, let's look at the last slide. You know what it's going to say. If you have any questions, write them down and we will discuss the questions that you have tomorrow in class. That's it for now. Bye.